Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to flip the script today on this episode. We're not going to do one of the trick-or-treats today. I decided to do something different. You usually hear me talk about my mom's dementia or my dad's ALS, things you can do as a caregiver to help make it easier on yourself and your patient. But today I'm going to do you a big favor and show you a tip that you need to do. If you're lucky enough to still have one of your parents or both of your parents and they're still sharp as a tack, they still know their life story, I've got something that you need to do. First of all, what does an elderly person want from their child more than anything? They want to spend time with them. They want time. That's all they want. They want to know that they matter. So if they know their story, you owe it to yourself to sit down and talk to them about this. Now, it's hard to kind of know what to ask them about their life story, but I'll show you what happened. What started me on this is we've got these books right here, and they're called Mother's Memories for My Daughter. So my mom had bought two of those, one from each of my sisters, and then one was Memories for My Son. Now, she started these way before her dementia started affecting her, and she would make pictures and fill out different things as far as my book goes about her life growing up. You can see her handwriting. It asks all kind of questions. Why this book is for you, my son. My mom wrote, "Greg, you're the most special son a mother could have or ever hope for. You have made me feel so special. I'm not as good as words as you are, but just know that I owe you this, plus so much more. Love, Mother." And in it, she put like pictures of herself when she was young. It gets you to fill out family trees on both sides. And then it asks you questions about things that happened when they were young, and you just fill out the book, and all you have to do is spend time with them and ask them the questions in the book. It gives you the questions in the book so you'll know what to ask. It asks, how was life back then when you were born? And she was born, both of them, in the Great Depression. She ends up telling me where she got my name from. My name is Gregory Joel. She named me after the actor Gregory Peck, and then she wondered why I was so dramatic. But my middle name, Joel, comes from my uncle, her brother, Joe. So she filled this book out for me before her dementia took over, and so I know her life story, which she'd always been my sidekick my whole life. I knew every one of her stories. We would go on trips together. A lot of her family is buried in Hartwell, Georgia, where she's from. She had a brother that died when he was 2 months old from scarlet fever, so we had him a flower made, and a lot of her other family was buried there also. So one Saturday we took off to Hartwell, Georgia, and this is a thing from the South and from my childhood. We stopped at the store and bought us a Pepsi and a pack of peanuts, and then you empty the pack of peanuts in the Pepsi. Now, don't knock it till you try it. It's one of those things that kind of sweet and salty, so we stopped and did that. And then we went to the grave and we looked around at the different graves and stuff and put the flower on the grave. But we were always doing things like that, making trips. She was always with me when I bought my cars. She was just with me through everything. My dad was a homebody, so he got the benefit of having a son that would take his mama anywhere she wanted to go. Years later, after I got older, and it was right before she got dementia, I found her a book like that too, and it's called The Story of Me and My Mom. Now, these books right here you can find like at Books A Million, any of these books, or I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. And in that, My dad only liked to eat at restaurants that fried their food in fatback. Well, my mom liked all kind of different foods. So in this pouch right here, I made a list, and I think it was over 90 different restaurants I had taken her to because she liked to try different things. And so all I did is it kind of started my love for scrapbooking, because you can see there's pictures of she and I tell different stories behind our journey together. So where she made me a book, I made her a book about myself and her. It asked me what I love about my mom, what movies did she like, what movies came out when she was born, trips that we had taken, the top 5 things that she had taught me. It said how well can she do these things, and it makes a list of all kind of different things that she could do. And of course she was number 1 in everything that she did, so she got good answers on those. And you see this picture right here, it's she and I in the mountains, and it says, please don't ever do these things in public. Well, there was things that I could put that I didn't ever want her to do in public to me or with me. And I put, there's nothing you could ever do that embarrassed me. It would more than likely be the other way around, ha ha. It asked what was her favorite songs. And so you go through all these different things. So you got all these pictures. So it took time. But guess what? You need to be spending time with your mom and dad anyway. That's the big secret. So if they're still around, get you one of these books and spend time with them. And I want to tell you my story behind a book. I had made 2 photo albums, one for my mom, one for my dad, talking about the journey of their life so far. So I took the time and went and spent time with their siblings. And when it came to my mom's siblings, I had fun spending time with each of them because we went through their photo albums, and they would have pictures of my mom. Like they had pictures of my mom in her prom dress that I'd never seen before, pictures of her as a teenager, as a child. So my deal with my relatives was, if you'll let me borrow your pictures for one day, I'll go make copies of them, bring them back to you tomorrow, and a Polaroid or something, or a picture that we had taken of their family that they didn't have, I would also make a copy of that and give them a picture that they had never had of their family before. So that was my payment for them trusting me with their pictures. But I also got to spend, guess what? Time with people I loved. Well, it wasn't very long after I did that my aunt's house burned, and she lost a lot of her pictures. So I was able to make copies of the copies that she had given me and give her some of her pictures back. Another thing that happened was I went and spent time with my Aunt Doris and Uncle Jack, my mom's brother, that he played the guitar, and she loved to sing bluegrass, and so I went and spent time with them and did the same thing with their pictures. I had such a good time spending time with them and just talking. And 6 weeks later, my Uncle Jack had passed away. So had I not done that, I wouldn't have got to spend that time with him. So you owe it to yourself to find this stuff out, because you don't want years later for family trees to die out and you having to go to Ancestry.com and all that, when all you should have done is, first of all, spent time with your parent and learned about their life. I know my nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews think, like I just turned 55 last week, and so I think they think I was born at the age of 55, and so they don't know the story of your life, and so you'll find out some funny things about your parents' life. My dad wasn't a big talker. He never did tell us anything about his childhood. Well, I found one of these books, and he had a brother that was 11 months younger than him. So I went to Georgia, and we went through the book, and he told me stories of he and Dad from their childhood that my dad had never told me. And had I not taken the time and spent that time with my uncle, I would have never known about my dad's childhood, because he wasn't a big talker. The men in my family are not big talkers about their emotions or their feelings. I'm trying to change that. I know it's hard to believe that a man wouldn't like to talk about his feelings or how he feels or anything like that, but I'm not like that. I'll tell you anything you need to know because I want to try to help people. And so I'm trying to help you today to learn to spend time with your family. I try to tell my nieces and nephews we do take 1,000 pictures ad nauseum, and they get irritated with us. And I've tried to explain to them, take the picture, stand there and smile, because you'll never know when a picture or a video is all you're going to have of that person in that picture that you love. Those pictures, those videos, when that's all you have to remember them by when they pass away, you will thank God that you did that. I know my videos and pictures of my mom I still look at frequently because she still has to be she still has to exist in my world even after 5 years for me to be able to want to keep on living. So I love those things, and I don't know what I would do if I hadn't have done the videos and the books and spent time with my mom and learned about her life. I learned all kind of things, like when she was a little girl, they were poor. They had to play with dolls that were made out of corn husk. They also loved paper dolls, so they would take the old Sears and Roebuck catalogs and cut the women's pictures out and use a sheet of notebook paper, she and her nieces, and play paper dolls. So I knew those things about her. I knew one time when they had the old spring washing machine, she got her arm stuck and wound up in the washing machine, and her mother had to get her out of that. My dad, anybody that knows him knows he was the biggest talker as I am, and but as a teenager he was kind of shy. So my mama chased him down. So one night after my Uncle Joe got home from third shift, she stole his car and chased my dad down. The first time, another story that she ever laid eyes on my dad worked at a filling, kind of like a service station, pumping gas, and his parents lived right across the street from that. Well, the school bus stopped there, so my mom and my dad's sister got off the bus, and my mom first laid eyes on my dad, and she said, "Who is that good-looking man?" And her sister said, "That's my older brother Jack." And she said, "Look at those big old arms. I know they'd feel good wrapped around me." So that's how my mom and dad met. So you'll find different stories like that you just thought they were a grandmother. You never knew that they were once a teenager. So you owe it to yourself to find out their life story, because everybody's led interesting lives. One other last thing that we do is, since both of our parents have passed, my sisters and I, we try to keep our family together, and that's very hard to do. But every Friday or Saturday night, we go on what's called a sibling date, where we go to another town and we'll shop and eat and gossip. Don't tell anybody, but we can just be who we want to be, say what we want to say. Yes, sometimes we have to kill each other, but we always get over it by the time we get back home. But what we do is, when we're on these trips, we always take a picture every week of everywhere we go, and we've got all these pictures. There's something new now. Well, it's not new, but it's newer than these books are. You can go on Shutterfly, and what you do is you hook your phone up to your computer, and we've made books from Shutterfly, and what it is it's all the pictures of all the sibling dates that we had, where we were. There was a picture of us holding hands where we went on vacations together. It's just a whole book of pictures of us, and it's really cool because it's a hardbound book. The pictures can't fall out or anything because they're actually printed on the pages. So that's another thing. Your siblings, you owe it to your whole family to know them. So I just wanted to do that real quick today. I talked longer than I wanted to, but like I said, whether their cognitive skills are still sharp as a tack, or they're sick, or something's going on with them, go spend time with your mom and dad. I can't tell you how horrible it is when they're no longer here. So the next time somebody wants you to pose for a family portrait, don't make a face, don't throw a tantrum, get in that picture, because you don't never know when somebody's going to be missing from that picture next year. And you'll never know when a video or a picture is all you have left of the person you love. So like I said again, you got to collection of books you can use that already gives you the questions to ask. So all you've got to do is write the answers down, or let them write the answers down. That way you'll have their handwriting. So you can go to Books A Million and get any of those, or Amazon. You can get any of these books on there. But you owe it to yourself to get to know your family, because you don't want family trees to die away. So that's the talk today, is making memories, spending time with your family. I'm not saying you have to do, I know everybody's busy. Take a day off just once a month, one of your days off, and go spend time with somebody different in your family, because everybody's got a different point of view of how they grew up with that sibling and how that sibling was with them, or with their parents. They can tell you stories of their parents and all of that. So you owe it to yourself to do that. Make memories. One of these days, you will really thank me for doing this episode, because when it's all you got left, then it's all you got left. You just got the memories, got the pictures, got the videos. So please promise me that you will do that today. Take care of your family, spend time with your family, take a picture when somebody wants to take a picture, and just be together and love each other. Y'all have a good day. Bye.